DayBreak, Chapter 6, Part 2. The hospital was quiet, deathly still. Luna let her hoof fall soft against the floor, as if making a sound would be a deep offense. Snipe Hunt and Skyhook were even more quiet than she was, the flutter of a wing the loudest noise that they made. There was a nurse reading at her desk. Luna broke the stillness.
My Little Pony?
The nurse squeaked, dropping her book. She then bowed hastily.
Your Majesty, what can I do for you? I am here to see my sister.
Luna pointed her horn towards the heavy metal doors.
May you please guide me to her room? My guards will stay here. I'm sorry, ma'am,
The nurse gasped out.
but no pony's allowed to visit Princess Celestia.
She swallowed a lump in her throat and added,
Doctor's orders.
Luna narrowed her eyes.
Dr. Fine is not in right now, is he? No, ma'am. Who's in charge? Well,
The nurse gave several false starts.
I am, but I'm under order. Nurse
Luna read the pony's name tag.
Flower Wishes. Who am I?
Flower Wishes shook her head.
Princess Luna? Yes.
Luna rested her hoof atop the desk.
High Princess and Diararch of Equestria, Mover of the Moon and Acting Setter of the Sun, former Bearer of the Elements of Harmony, Watcher of Dreams.
She leaned her head close to Flowers.
Tell me again, Nurse Wishes. Who's in charge right now? You are, Your Majesty. Thank you. May I see my sister? Yes.
Flower Wishes opened the metal door and let Luna through. Skyhook and Snipe Hunt took up positions on both sides of the door.
Her room's at the end of the hallway.
Flower said.
I shouldn't leave my post for long, in case of an emergency. Agreed.
Luna walked down the hall, her head high and her wings half extended.
Thank you, Nurse Wishes.
The door shut with a decisive click. As Flower passed, Snipe touched her shoulder with a wingtip. Sorry about that, miss. She's going through a lot. Flower Wishes smiled and scurried back to the desk. Skyhook then chuckled.
Oh, you're such a softie.
Hey, it's a habit, Snipe smirked. A good habit at that. Celestia was still. Still motionless, still unresponsive, still breathing with the help of a tube, still taking in ambrosia, and still dead to the world.
10 years, Celestia.
Luna paced before the hospital bed.
10 years, I have been back. Welcome to society with open arms. Crowned princess and loved by thousands of thousands. Praised in song and ceremony.
She hung her head.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
She pulled up alongside the bed and stared at the tubes leading into Celestia's body.
I never expected years to undo several lifetimes of wickedness and isolation. But I hope to understand more about what I'm supposed to do.
She turned to the window.
No. A lie. I wanted to understand what you do. I wanted to be as strong as you. I wanted to be able to fill your horseshoes if the need arose. I wanted to be equal.
She sat down and lifted her hooves.
Now, that chance has come, and I'm left without a guiding hoof. I'm without knowledge of where to go next. I still need you. And if you're not here...
She let her forelegs drop. The heart monitor ticked away just at the edge of her consciousness.
I understand Twilight. I understand her need to be useful. Now I have to be useful. But I have no idea how. I'm lost.
She then stood up and walked to the door. And she paused.
I was lost before.
She studied her rump, where the dark hair grew around her cutie mark.
So very lost. I do not wish to lose myself again. I refuse to lose myself.
She punctuated her statement with a stomp of her hoof. The sound was unsatisfactorily muffled by the walls of the room. Luna bit back a groan. She opened her wings and dared to rest a wingtip on Celestia's leg.
Sister, I miss you so. Please come back quickly. Please.
Air flowed from Celestia's mouth, guided by the magic-powered machine at her side. If Luna looked closely, she could see the gentle, gradual rise and fall of her sister's chest.
Beloved sister.
She blinked her eyes.
Oh, Creator, why did this have to happen?
The dear wound in Celestia's heart was felt in Luna's own. She clutched at her chest and slumped to the ground. Tears poured from her eyes as she allowed the sobs to come.
Please come back. Please come back. Please come back.
She pulled herself up to look at her sister's face.
Please. Please, just give me a sign that you'll come back. Please, give me something to hold on to.
Celestia said nothing. Luna dried her tears and calmed her cries. She took several deep breaths before heading towards the door again.
Goodbye, Celestia.
Above the beep of the heart monitor, beyond the hum of the breathing tube, something caught Luna's ears. A strange, scratching sound. Luna turned her head and narrowed her eyes. A roll of paper came out of the machine that scribbled jagged lines with several different colors. The wires from the back led to Celestia's head. Luna's eyes widened.
My stars. Consistent brainwaves.
She staggered over to the bedside, her knees trembling. She then sucked in a deep breath.
Sister! Sister, do you dream?
She licked her lips, her pulse quickening. She skipped to the door and down the hall, almost not daring to hope. She called her guards to her side. As she moved, her wings already spreading to their full length. She gave a nod to flower wishes and then was off to the entrance. Once outside the hospital, with many instruments that could be disturbed by powerful magic, she teleported the three of them to the tallest tower in Canterlot Castle, the Dream's Keep. The guards shook their heads to rid themselves of their daze, then took up position beside the entrance. Luna hurried up the spiral stairs. She tripped halfway up, nearly sending her nose into the steps. She broke free of the staircase and spent a moment to catch her breath. The room was rounded, with several mirrors set into the walls. From the gilded domed ceiling, a bell hung, ready to be rung in case of an emergency. At the far side, a telescope sat on a balcony. Luna set foot on the marble tiles that formed the shape of her cutie mark. She then sat down in the center of the room. The mirrors came to life. They weren't as lively as they would be late at night, but each mirror still held a dream. Ponies who slept during the day and worked at night, elders taking a siesta, and college students asleep on their textbooks. Luna scanned them, her breath coming in spurts. Every muscle in her body tensed, and she shook, half hoping that she was right, and half expecting crushing disappointment. There. That mirror. That mirror had a glimpse of something few ponies would understand, a flicker of something few ponies still alive have ever experienced. Luna leaned forward, squaring her shoulders, and cast a spell. Luna's sleeping body curled up in the center of the room as the Watcher of Dreams set out to greet her sister. A young alicorn mare landed in front of Luna's hooves. Luna stumbled back, kicking up dust as she went. She reached to help the mare up, but she froze at a word.
Come, Luna. We begin again.
Luna's eyes snapped up. Her wings extended as everything inside of her told her to run. It was her. Commander Hurricane walked across a wide circle of dirt. She wore light armor over her pale blue coat. It was tough but soft, enough to defend against hoof-to-hoof strikes, but not enough to stop a spear point.
Get up. Thou art not learning from the dirt, but from me.
Luna's mouth dried out. She looked down as the young alicorn mare groaned. The mare's coat was dark blue, while her mane was lighter by far. Her knees were barked, and her hooves were chipped. Her feathers were a mess, and her lip was bloody. She staggered to her hooves.
Thou can do it, Luna!
A voice called from the sidelines. Luna turned her head up to see that the speaker was another younger alicorn, one of a white coat and pink mane.
We believe in thee!
Hurricane crouched low, her wings spread.
Keep thine hooves up. Go.
The young blue alicorn launched, her hooves a flying frenzy. Hurricane barely moved as she caught each strike. She flapped her wings, catching the young one in the sides of her head. Then a quick jab to the chin knocked her onto her back. Hurricane stood victorious, above a bruised and battered Luna.
Thou art striking with thine heart, not thine head. Think. Do not allow anger to control thee.
Luna watched with held breath as her younger counterpart stood up. She cantered up to the sidelines and sat beside a unicorn mare who ignored her. She looked past the unicorn to look at the pink-maned alicorn who sat on the edge of her seat.
Pray tell, young one,
Luna said.
What transpires? The commander tests our skills in the martial arts.
The alicorn didn't take her eyes off the match. She then giggled.
I am to be next.
Luna nodded slowly.
Dost thou think that thou shalt be victorious? Nay, but I shall give a good showing.
The mare winced as the younger Luna fell to a powerful punch.
Though I think Luna may wish for more training.
I'll be honest, I'm still trying to wrap around my head where the hell we are. Because I don't know if we're in, like, an arena or a public fighting room or some shit. I'm confused. Then again, we're probably talking about being in a dream, so anything could happen. Now let's drive on over to our very creative donators. Top donators, Dash of Evergreen, Peter Coulthard, J Tin Man, Darkside, and Ponyman. CourierCruz CI, Delta Omega, Strix, RuneScythe9852, Dospo, Rhiny Dragonwolf, Secret Moon, Tall Russia, The Toilet Snake, Cerberus, Starlight Glimmer, Squiddy Boy, David D. Sanchez, Soul Dragon, Gaggy, Trey, Shadow Drake, Joe Piercy, Alex F., Rainbow Dash, Teal K. Anderson, TV Killer, and John Becker. Thank you all very much for watching this video. Live life to the fullest, and be strong.